Ladies and gentlemen, this week of NWA Anarchy action, we have from Full Impact Pro FIP, the Canadian Cougar. If you can't tell, that would be the gentleman with the maple leaves on his mask and tights. His opponent.
Thanks for clearing that up with some of these idiots around here.
Anyway, his opponent.
And Canada is just north of us.
That's Canada, not Canada. His opponent is none other than the reigning Super 8 champion, Davey Richards. Quite an illustrious line that he comes from as the winner of the Super 8.
Well, I mean, you know, you want to talk about an illustrious line. I mean, you're talking about Paul London, American Dragon, Speedy Williams. I mean, the ECWA Super 8 tournament is a showcase for future superstars, and that's exactly what it's been. I mean, a guy very familiar to this building right here, AJ Styles, a former Super 8 champion, and Davey Richards, this year the Super 8 champion. And the Canadian Cougar doesn't know what he's getting himself into. I mean, you know, he's from Canada.
As opposed to Canada, like you thought earlier.
Well, you know, Canada, it's all the same country. But the guy's an idiot. All Canadians are idiots.
I'm sure there are a great many Canadians that would appreciate hearing that, perhaps in our viewing audience.
Anne Murray.
Anyway, right now.
Ryan Adams is from Canada.
Collar and elbow tie-up as Richards goes to the standing wrist lock on this masked man, the Canadian Cougar.
Do they have Cougars in Canada?
Well, they've got at least one. He's here.
You know, actually, the guy's not really Canadian. I know that for a fact.
If I'm not mistaken, Eddie Rich introduced him as being from British Columbia.
He has a mask on. This guy's a Russian spy. That's all there is to it. He's a Rusky.
And how do you draw this conclusion?
He's short.
What's that got to do with it?
Coldness stunts your growth.
It's cold and anyway. Right now. Oh, nice maneuver there trying to pick the ankle.
You think it's cold in Canada?
Well, yeah, it's, you know, fairly cold in Canada.
You see Shania Twain? She's a hottie.
Anyway, has the legs grapevine and a chin lock applied. Does Davey Richards. And right now,
Davey Richards is a phenomenal athlete, or else he wouldn't have
is.
won the Super 8 championship. I mean, he's just got the Canadian Cougar locked up in all kinds of ways.
he certainly does. Side headlock now. Switching the focus is Richards. I mean, like you said, quite the illustrious list.
It's a springboard.
That Super 8. Yes, it is. I mean, look at what these people have done. Speedy Williams is a former NWA X Division champion. AJ Styles, former NWA World Heavyweight champion.
Multiple-time X Division champion.
Yes, he was. And then, I mean, you also have the likes of Paul London, former Cruiserweight champion of the world. So right now, that certainly is easily a springboard on to big things. And Richards trying to take that first step. This is his first match, it's my understanding, since winning the Super 8. And what an incredible platform to be on. That NWA Anarchy seen all over the world.
And right there, I mean, just kicking at the Canadian Cougar, has them down. I mean, relentless with them. But also at the same time, very methodical, knowing what he's doing in there and just taking his time at the attack. That's how confident this Davey Richards is. And I mean, in a weird kind of way, he reminds me kind of a hybrid mix of Speedy Williams and AJ Styles.
All right, now no wasted motion from Richards. And right now, the chin lock applied to the Canadian Cougar. The masked man from British Columbia now crossface. Good Lord. And just sweeps it right across the bridge of the nose.
Well, he was pulling at the mask there, and I mean, just, you know, like I said, got that mask good and tight, had it locked in the crosshairs, and just drammed the forearm right into the side of the jaw.
Dram.
Dram.
What's dram?
Driving and ramming at the same time.
Okay, works for me. And right now, pulls him up by the mask. Rams him head first into the top turnbuckle. Richards firmly in control. The Cougar up and over, lands on his feet. The agility of the Canadian Cougar shoves the shoulder into the midsections of Richards. Springboards off, beautiful bulldog. And this could be just the opportunity the Cougar needs.
Well, somebody needs to tell the Cougar not to put his wrestling trunks in a paper shredder.
those are tassels, John Johnson.
Tassels went out with the
And right now, Hangman-style neckbreaker from the Cougar, cover, and only a 1 count on the 2006 Super 8 champion.
I knew a guy named Jim that wore tassels one time.
Let's not talk about that. And right now, up top, that elevator stopped on the 2nd floor by Richards. Richards follows him up, perhaps looking for a superplex. All the way up top. You will hear the impact.
And hurt it, we did.
And that hurt the neck of Richards as much as it hurt the back of the Cougar.
Well, I mean, did you see the impact that he came down on? I mean, Davey Richards is well put together. I mean, a phenomenal athlete. He's in perfect condition there. And sometimes when you have that much power, it works against you in rare instances when you're using a move that requires you to have a lot of momentum going into it.
Certainly true. And Richards right now trying to find his bearings. He's found the Cougar. Forearm shot and a return fire from the Cougar. They are trading back and forth, fighting up to their feet on a series of chops from the Cougar, off the ropes, up, and a nice flying head scissors from the Canadian Cougar. He follows up, knife-edge chop, sends him off reversal, the Irish whip. Richards looking for the sidewalk slam, and another head scissors as a counter, and Richards does not know what in the world is going on.
Well, he's disoriented Richards here, and Richards is stumbling around the ring. I mean, he doesn't know where he's at, and the Canadian Cougar needs to capitalize on this right now. There he goes, going for the cover there, Greg Hunter.
Oh, 2, hooking the far leg, and only a 2 count, says referee Speedy Nelson. And right now, the Canadian Cougar setting him up for a vertical suplex.
Later on tonight, Greg Hunter, we have the Devil's Rejects are in the house here later on tonight. I just was noticing that.
Do we really have to talk about that right now?
I don't want to talk about it. I just want to point out to you, I want to give you a heads up. You know, unlike you never give me a heads up, I want to give you a heads up.
Calm down. We have a format. They give us a list of matches. I saw it. And right now, Richards.
Well, I was just looking out for you.
Richards right now lining up the crosshairs. Charging all the way across the ring with that forearm. And that clothesline nearly decapitating the Cougar. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. Richards.
These two guys have been going full bore since the opening bell. And I mean, Richards, I mean, just the power advance that he has with the Canadian Cougar is ever evident. But right now, he's looking to finish him off. And I don't know if he can do it. The Canadian Cougar.
Right now, he has him set up. Deep double underhook. Cougar trying to fight, drops his weight south. And now, just a series of short kicks to the side of the head, trying to disorient and weaken the Cougar. Now has that double underhook, has him high up. Oh, looking perhaps for a butterfly power bomb, but that was countered by the Cougar. Cougar springboards up, and a nice DDT from the Canadian Cougar. Richards is down, and Richards is glassy-eyed. Cover, 1, 2, and again a 2 count.
And the Canadian Cougar can't believe he didn't get the 3, but I mean, like I said, I mean, yeah, he hit him with a stunning maneuver there, but I mean, you know, he's got to do more than that to take over Davey Richards. I mean, this guy is the current Super 8 champion. I mean, what more can you say?
Right now, the Cougar going up top. The Cougar come down right across the knees of Davey Richards. Richards pulls his man up, sets up. Big power bomb, 1, 2, and again a 2 count. Richards looks frustrated. I don't think he expected this much fight out of the Canadian Cougar here tonight.
Well, I mean, he cinched that power bomb in all the way up. I mean, he picked him up and slammed him with authority. That would have broke the neck of a normal man, but these guys are well-conditioned athletes. Even the Canadian Cougar's a well-conditioned athlete, if you can believe that, because he's from Canada. But, I mean, right now, he's double underhooking it in again, perhaps going for that butterfly power bomb. Sets it in. Canadian Cougar had it blocked for just a second there, Hunter.
And now, up and over, roll up, 1, 2. Floating out of that vertical suplex attempt. Richards lines him up. He kicks away the clothesline, boot to the midsection. And now the Cougar looking for a suplex of his own. perhaps trying a fireman's carry. Oh, he has him deep double underhook. Sit out, butterfly powerbomb, 2-3. That is it. Let's go to Eddie Rich for the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen,